G'day, Aaron here, Rustic Traders, Brisbane, Australia, April 2025. Going to show off something a little bit different today, still bicycle related, but I thought some people would love to see some of these old bicycle lamps and carbide lamps and candle lamps. So thought we'd do a little talk and show off some of these. So first of all, I'll show off a carbide lamp. Bicycle carbide lamp, or even early motorcycle. It's quite large, this one, so it could have definitely been used on motorcycles. Now carbide or calcium carbide, got some old tins here. CCM, which is Canadian cycle manufacturers. You might know them for Redbird and Massey. These tins are rather hard to come by. Best granulated carbide. So I only have maybe 3 carbide tins ever. They hardly ever show up for sale in Australia. England, there seems to be plenty. Often the postage is more than the tin. So carbide, how it works is they would put water in here and carbide in the bottom. And you can't buy carbide anymore. Just as you and me walking off the street, you can't buy carbide. I think you have to be a farmer or have an agricultural license to justify buying this stuff. So once upon a time readily available, now basically can't buy it. So what happens is water, I have mentioned this in other videos, water drips into the carbide and it creates acetylene gas. So then the acetylene gas is what is ignited inside there to cause you your lamp, your light. So they're beautiful made things. Now we can see where the flame would have been ignited in the front there. This particular one is a P&H brand, which is quite famous, one of the large ones, and that stands for Powell and Hammer. Powell and Hammer. That's what the later ones just say P&H. The earlier ones have Powell and Hammer on there. So these were mounted, as I've showed on the bike before. You've got a little thing at the front of the stem or in different places, and it would mount on there. And even a bit of suspension so that the thing just wasn't as you're going down some old dirt road back in the day. And you've got the crystals on the side, as they call them, probably just made of glass, but I'm guessing that's for port and starboard. So you could tell from a distance where the bike was going. So that's a lovely one. Also got another P&H here, same brand. Same design, but different in ways. It's not exactly the same. This one's actually missing its glass. Rather hard to find the glass for them nowadays. The glass is convex, so would expand the light as it went through. Beautiful things. If you've got old bikes on display, they just look beautiful sitting on the front of the bike there. Now, just to jump back in time before those, the first ones were pretty much like this. And so that was ignited by a candle, illuminated by a candle. So you had a candle in there. There was a candle in there because you had a spring in here. So this would unscrew. You put your candle in there with a spring and then force it up against that rim there. So your wick would come up, and as the wax melted away, the spring would push it up. But because of that rim, it would stop it just pushing right up. So that would be covered so your candle wouldn't blow out. So that's a very early bicycle light right there, even going back to like penny farthing and stuff like that. Same sort of thing, mounted on the back with spring. I actually only have one of these, and I've never seen very many of them. Any other collectors I know that do have them are usually reluctant to let them go, unless you put lots of money in their hands, which has always been more than I've wanted to pay for them. But that's great. Early candle powered, gotta love that. And also, the other way that they were powered was with kero or paraffin back in the early days. So you had a little, just like your kero lanterns, hurricane lanterns and stuff. that goes up, your little well in the bottom here, that would probably unscrew out, and your well of Kero would be in the bottom there. So you would just flip this open, light it, and then clip it back on there. Or you could just light it directly from the side without having to flip the bottom open. Now this one has the little crystal on the back so that someone behind could tell that they were behind. And this is also another famous brand called Lucas. Now if you're into vintage or veteran motorcycles, you'd know Lucas, but they also made them for cars, English cars and stuff like that. So Lucas, very famous brand. So that's a nice, beautiful little one as well on the spring. Now going later into the 40s, now this same thing mounted on the same thing on the bike, but these were your early battery powered ones. So some of your first batteries, when they were superseded, you could buy a little extra thing to put in there to make them run on something that more resembles the batteries we have today. So that was the latest thing at the time. Didn't have to worry about liquids or gases, you had battery powered. So that's a little show off of old bicycle lamps today. I mean, they're a cool collectible thing just by themselves. You don't actually have to have bicycles to collect these and have them on a shelf because they look great as they are. And I've also seen these completely polished. So these are made of brass, and that's nickel, so they're nickel plated brass. I've seen that completely polished back to being shiny brass, looking like gold. That's also a nice look. So these later ones, well, that's gonna be tin. That's definitely tin. And my guess by the rust on that one is that it is also made of tin. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed Bicycle Lights. Stay tuned.